Okay, be honest with me. How many times have you set a writing goal or started a new project and then fell off like 3 weeks later? If your answer is every single time, you're not alone. In the next few minutes, we are going to talk about commitment devices that you can use to hold you accountable to your writing. One skill that we'll need as professional writers is writing from discipline, not from inspiration. You can write when you feel like it, but it'll probably take you a pretty long time to finish your project. There's that Stephen King quote, I think that's like, amateurs wait for inspirations, writers just get up and go to work. That's what we're trying to create here. Ultimately, it's not motivation that's going to fuel our writing, it's structure, which doesn't sound like creative and bohemian and fun, but it's just reality. Commitment devices are just systems that create external pressure to support your writing goals, because willpower and inspiration are finite resources. So the pattern that we're trying to avoid, which pretty much everybody has experienced, is something like this. Month 1, you write consistently for kind of the first 3 weeks. You're doing really great, you're writing 3 sessions a week, things are awesome. Then work gets busy. You don't write at all, but you justify to yourself that work comes first and you have to take care of your day job. But then it's wedding and you don't really have time between the weddings and the travel on top of your day job, and so you push it until later. 3 months later, you feel like crap because you haven't written in 3 months. And then you start the cycle over. Sound familiar? So here are some ways to break this cycle. Option 1 is tell everyone. You can publicly announce your writing goals or your writing schedule, include other people in the process. Social pressure is real, and if people keep asking you about your project, sometimes it might motivate you to actually do the project. Social pressure is real, and so people are like, hey, how's your script going? Every 10 seconds, you'll be motivated to actually have a finished product to tell them about. You can post on social media every time you're doing a writing session. You'll see on Blue Sky and Twitter, a lot of times writers will post every time a writing session, kind of like a sprint that other people can join. I've seen people on TikTok go live every time they write to hold themselves accountable. If having the social pressure of people watching you do the thing is helpful to you, you can try this out. Second option is an accountability partner or group. You're going to want to find somebody with similar writing goals and check in regularly on their progress, and vice versa. Or even better, you can work together. You can find somebody in the StoryBrain Academy community, set regular check-ins with that person, talk about what's going well, what's challenging, and report back on your progress regularly. You can celebrate your wins together, troubleshoot together. It's a really great option. So obviously the easiest example of this is a writer's group, but you can also just do it with one buddy or partner that you find that you vibe with. So this brings me to my next option, which is body doubling. The ADHDers definitely know about this one. It's just working alongside somebody else who's also working. You can do this in person at a coffee shop or a library, or virtually on Zoom or FaceTime or House Party or something like that. We host virtual co-writing parties every other week. You can join in on those, they're free, or you can do them with your accountability partner or group that you've already found. If you're more motivated by deadlines and you don't currently have one, then find some light at the end of the tunnel that'll help motivate you to finish. This can be applying to fellowships, competitions, festivals with your finished script. This can be a public workshop of your project or a table read that you've signed up for before you've actually finished the thing. I used to do this all the time. Or you can set up a script read with a mentor or somebody that you kind of want to impress and give yourself a hard deadline of when you'll send the script to them by. You can also do this within a writer's group. Say if your writer's group schedules ahead of time who's workshopping when, you can sign up for a workshop day even before you finish your script to make sure that you have pages by the time you're supposed to workshop. Number 6 is streak. So this is the idea of don't break the chain. Plenty of writers are known to have employed this method, where basically you have a calendar or a habit tracker where you are supposed to do a certain thing every single day or a certain number of times a week. The idea is that you don't want to break the chain. You give yourself a visual representation of your goal. You're able to check it off every time you do it, and the goal is to not break the chain. Duolingo had me in an absolute chokehold for 500 days because of this. So it really works for certain people. I think this is especially helpful for any comedy writers that want to work in late night. Set a goal of writing a certain number of jokes every single day, because ultimately that'll be your job, and don't break the chain. Number 7 is community accountability. This is a little bit more general than writers groups because it can take many forms. It can be challenges like this one, the writer sprint that we're doing in January. It can be in-person writing sprints like they have at the WGA, or a weekly body doubling meetup that you join on meetup.com or something. The goal is having a structured community with accountability systems that work for you and combining the aspects of a deadline and social pressure. You can also join a screenwriting class or a coaching program, which usually provides social pressure, deadlines, and an avenue for feedback. And a lot of times there's a small cost associated with these things, which bring next one, financial commitment. Putting money on the line can be a huge motivator for people. I didn't start working out consistently until I hired a personal trainer because I felt accountable to the person, the trainer, and I had already spent money on the session. You can put money on the line through courses, coaching programs, retreats and labs, or habit contracts. There are even websites that set this up for you, where if you don't do a certain thing by a certain date, date, they'll charge you money. You can do this with a friend. I think I've done it before where if I don't send a draft to a person by a certain date, then I have to Venmo them a certain amount of money. There are plenty of ways you can do this. So you can enroll in a paid program like January Jumpstart. You can use habit contract apps like Stick or Beeminder, where you lose money if you don't hit your goals. You can set up a bet with a friend. The psychology behind this is just that free is easy to quit. There's no stakes, you haven't lost anything, you haven't invested anything. When you've invested money, you're more likely to follow through. So obviously you don't need all of these options. You can just pick one that you think will work for you. And as I've been saying for all of these lessons, you have to track if it's actually working. If it doesn't feel like it's working for you, then pivot to something else. So kind of some general guidelines. If you're competitive, then financial commitment or setting a bet with other people or competitions might be a good motivator for you. If you're social, then accountability buddies or writers groups are probably the right option. If you're motivated by consistency and habit so that you don't even have to think about it, then the don't break the chain method's probably good. If you need structure and deadlines, then paid programs, classes, or structured communities are probably going to be helpful. And if you need maximum pressure, then try to employ the social pressure option plus financial commitment. You can definitely mix and match whatever you think will work for you. You have to find a balance. Sometimes pressure makes people freak out and quit, and sometimes not enough pressure makes people freak out and quit. So try to think about your personality and what you think actually will suit you. But the main thing to remember is that you will not always feel motivated to write. It sounds crazy because we like writing, we love it, we want to write our passion projects, but when it comes to planning, especially planning creative projects, we want to plan for our worst days. So we want to make sure we have systems in place for the days that we don't feel like writing, and that's what's going to get us to our goal. So build systems that work with your humanity and not against it. So let me know what commitment device you're going to try down in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow for our wrap-up video.